Welcome to the Love and All Sports Podcast, where the land of love can get updates on not only Loveland sports, but learn and discuss many sports topics. Shoot any ideas you want to loveandallsports@gmail.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at the Love and All Sports Pod. Love and All Sports Pod is sponsored by Meredith DeWitt of Brittany Fritz Realty, Loveland's #1 boutique brokerage. Contact Meredith for any and all of your real estate needs at meredithbfteam@gmail.com. This episode, we spend some time with new boys golf coach, Coach Chris Burke. He grew up as a golf fan and an overall athlete, and now he is an educator and a CrossFit teacher, and he's working hard with the boys to uncover their potential, look into the analytics of golf, and motivate the team to strive for a sectional win and move on to the Ohio State tournament. Enjoy this podcast. All right, well, hello, Loveland. We are here at Cappy's on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, getting to know our Loveland High School boys' new golf coach, Coach Chris Burke. Welcome. Coach is not a stranger to Loveland. He's been Loveland Middle School principal and teacher at high school for many years, so sit back and enjoy this podcast. So great to see you, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Life good?
Yeah, no, life's great. Good to be here.
Awesome. So first year as varsity head coach for golf.
Yes, sir.
How'd you get into this?
Well, I got into it. This is my 9th year back in the classroom after being in administration for a while. And this is the first year I'm getting towards the point where we're empty nesters at home and I have a little bit more time on my hands. And last year the JV golf job came open. It kind of piqued my interest, and I talked to my wife about it and she said go for it. So I joined the program last year. I really enjoyed my time, and then over the course of the last 12 months, David Allen, the varsity coach for the last 9 years, needed to step away. His other job, his real job, was taking up a lot of his time. Really tough to balance everything in his life, so he needed to step away, and so I was able to step up and take the varsity job with a great group of kids.
Awesome. It's good to hear. It's funny how, when you're an old guy coaching football or baseball, you never really think about, am I better than these kids? But in golf, you kind of think that. You're like, well, so are you a good golfer?
I'll answer the first part. I am not better than these kids,
right?
Especially at our top-end varsity level. We got some really good golfers that I was able to inherit. I can hold my own on the golf course.
Yeah.
I've grown up around the game. My grandparents, my grandpa sawed off old clubs and gave them to me when I was like 5 years old, and took me out to Sharon Woods. And when they retired, they both worked for the Hamilton County Park District. Took me out for free. When I went to college, I worked for the Hamilton County Park District, got a bunch of golf for free. So when I first started teaching, I worked at O'Bannon Country Club, filling coffee so I could get free golf. Paying for golf is one of the greatest pains in my life.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I can hold my own on the golf course, but I am certainly nowhere near a scratch golfer or an ace golfer. But I also don't feel like I embarrass myself out there either.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a lot of fun trying to, because the best thing about golf is you can play it forever for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And you can always improve at it. But trying to teach a 15 to 18-year-old know-it-all boy about how to do something as intricate as a golf swing probably has to take some patience, huh?
Yeah, I think when I think about my role, especially since, now there's a spectrum in our program, like there's people who are coming in that are near beginners or less talented golfers, at least with their scores, to inheriting a bunch of varsity golfers that play pretty darn well. So you're approaching each conversation with each individual differently. With the top-end golfers, with my expertise, I'm less apt to give them swing instruction than I am talking through the shot, talking through the emotions of the game, talking through the kind of emotional intelligence that's needed to succeed on the golf course, as well as in life. Like that's why I got into it. Like that's exciting. And then with kids that are more starting the game, it's much easier to see the faults in their swing because there's bigger faults versus someone that's much sharper, because then the faults are more nuanced, and it takes a trained eye. And I'll be honest, like I don't have that perfectly trained eye for a golf swing. Right. And that's why we have a great asset to our program, Ashley Thomas, teaching pro. She's been recognized as one of the best teaching pros in the state of Ohio multiple times, working with our program, which that's great to get a pair of expert eyes on there.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and Loveland's no stranger to you, so you grew up here, right? Born and raised?
Started my life in Reading for a year, and then I was over in the King School District until 3rd grade, and then I went to St. Colemine for through 8th grade, but I did graduate from Loveland High School, and just celebrated our 30th class reunion right down here in Loveland this past Saturday.
Congrats on that. It's crazy seeing some of the guys, and the nice thing is I saw your reunion going on and knew a few of those, and they all have the same haircut.
Yeah.
It's like
receding hairline haircut, and
right.
then we just grow the beard to make us feel better.
Yes, exactly. Well, thanks for. I'm a member at O'Bannon, so appreciate everything you did back in the day to help O'Bannon become what it is. So your paying job, so teaching. Tell us a little bit about that. You did some teaching. What subject are you in? And then you took some time in administration. Now you're back into teaching. So what role are you in now at the high school?
Yeah, so I started teaching at Goshen Middle School after graduating from the Ohio University.
There you go.
And I'm a social studies teacher. I taught 7th and 8th grade social studies at Goshen for 2 years. Coached 3 sports when I was young and dumb. Football, basketball, and baseball back in the day. Then I moved over to Little Miami High School and taught social studies at Little Miami High School. I did middle school basketball and varsity baseball, and I eventually became the varsity head coach. It was at that time that I was working on my master's degree in administration, and then I moved over to administration, and started that at Little Miami, but then moved over to Loveland Middle School, was the assistant principal for 5 years and the building principal for 7 years. And then it was time to reflect and think about what the next challenge would be, and we had a teacher retiring, Dave Fletcher, served our schools well for many years. Dave was retiring, and I approached Superintendent Chad Hilliker at the time and Keith Coney if I could interview for that job or if they would support me moving to that position. And I got to say, Loveland's always been supportive of a lot of the things that I would like to do next. So I was able to go back to the classroom. I did that at the middle school for 5 years, and now I've been at the high school for the last 4. And that's been an awesome change and challenge as well. I feel like I thrive best when I have new curveballs to try and hit, and I grow best that way with kind of not making sure life isn't stagnant.
Oh, that's great. Good to know, and thanks for all you've done. I mean, known about you for a while because of having 3 kids that have gone through, and finally you get to teach one of my children, Charlie, so we'll talk about him after the microphones are turned off.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Talk about the home front. I mean, the best thing I ever heard was that your wife's an Indiana Hoosier grad, so her and I can high five about the close game against Iowa the other night. But tell us about the family.
Yeah, a loud and proud Hoosier she is. She wanted me to make sure to ask you about Nick's English hut. Are you good? Are you good with the Strombolis?
Yes, the Strombolis, and then the beer drinking Sink the Bismarck game is a good time. But Nick's was a place. It's like we never went there in undergrad, but it's the place to go for alumni. Yeah, and it's a pretty good place.
We anytime we're near Bloomington, we are stopping to get a Stromboli and taking it home or eating it there.
Right.
Eric and I have 5 kids all together. It's a combined marriage, combined family. I have 3 daughters. One is a teacher up in the Toledo area in Perrysburg. She's teaching 8th grade math. Then I have a daughter that is at UC studying architecture. And then I have a junior at King's. So she's just, being a high school kid. Being awesome. Plays tennis, and she's great. Then my stepsons. My oldest is in the business field in Philadelphia. And my stepson is a freshman at The Ohio State University.
The other one.
In psychology,
Well, that's awesome. So like me, you have a junior that keeps you young.
Yes.
And I'm 5 years older than you, so he really keeps me young. It's there's so many things that Zach and Zoe didn't do that. Did we take the foot off the gas, or is it just his personality? So it's probably a little bit of both.
That's why I don't see much non-dark hair on your head or beard.
Exactly. And then you got a little side gig, a little CrossFit still in your life?
Yeah, Erica and I forgot to mention, Erica is a teacher as well. She's an 8th grade teacher at Little Miami, teaches math. But Erica and I, back in 2013, decided to start our own CrossFit gym. And that was a really good adventure for us. Erica and I have always worked well together as a team, and her strengths are not my strengths, and my strengths are not her strengths, so it's a nice puzzle piece. It was a really good adventure for us. At a certain point, about 6 years in, we both kind of reflected, and it was a very busy life at the time, and I think I was the one that said, I don't want to be running at this RPM for the rest of my life. So we decided to sell the gym, and I still work at the gym. I still coach fitness classes on Saturdays and Sundays and one day throughout the week because I really enjoy that. I love coaching and teaching adults is a completely different game than working with kids. Right. So it's a fun aspect with that as well.
Awesome. It's good to have hobbies, and you got a couple of them now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your favorite part of coaching?
Favorite part of coaching is the kids, of course. Like, I think anybody's going to say that. If you're in it just for the golf or the baseball or the football, it's probably going to be a tough road to hoe when you're teaching high school sports, because you never know who's coming in. You're not recruiting, you're not paying these people, right? Like, you're just getting who's walking through the halls of Loveland High School. So you got to love the kid and get to know the kid. And that's my favorite part, is getting to know a person as a freshman or a sophomore, and then being a small part of their journey to where they leave Loveland High School, and maybe having some positive impact on their person.
Awesome, good to hear. So do you follow golf on any of your free time you have?
Yeah. I love watching golf on TV. My wife loves it because that's when she takes her naps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a guy that will listen to golf podcasts and watch it. But I'm just in general sports. I enjoy watching sports. I'm a homer for the Reds and the Bengals. I've gotten into British Premier League soccer over the last decade plus, and so I follow Liverpool. And then if I'm not watching one of those three teams, I'm watching golf, and it can be the most basic tournament, and it holds my attention to see people performing at kind of the top end of any profession.
Well, I got it back into golf about 1.5 years ago, and it's amazing how easy the pros make it look. And you're like, oh, I can do that, or I can tweak this, or look at their hand, or look where they're placing a 8-iron versus a 3-wood, and you're like, how did he do that? I tried to emulate that, and it does not work. What were your thoughts on the Ryder Cup?
It was certainly interesting.
Yeah.
You think it looks like it's going to be a slam dunk for Europe, and the Americans made a great comeback on the last day.
Yeah.
But it was just too big of a mountain to climb. I personally thought the fans could have been a little bit better.
Right.
I am all good with after Europe hits a bad shot, cheering kind of the bad shot because you're rooting for your team. But some of the personal stuff and the talking in the middle of somebody's process is kind of antithetical to the culture and the spirit of the game.
Yeah, I'm a Rory fan. I love Rahm too, and I was glad they beat us. I hate to say that, being a proud American, but the way we acted, and I guess you throw that out there at New York, and the way we are in our culture and society, with there's only two sides of everything now. You knew it was going to explode that way, to where these New Yorkers were out there just going crazy, and you're right. I mean, some of the stuff in. People are warming up and doing their process to their pre-hit routine, and they're getting yelled at. We can't have that. So.
Yeah, to me, it just kind of ruins or taints the overall sport.
Yeah, man, no doubt about it. All right, so now you're entering what I call Josh's smoking seat. Just have a handful of questions just for the community to get to know you a little bit better.
All right.
It's being a Cincinnatian, this will be good.
I will say this is turning the tables on me a bit. On every Wednesday, I do something in my classroom called the hot seat, where we throw random questions at kids. And I told you earlier before we started recording, the random wheel came up on your son today, and he performed very well.
Good to hear. Well, hopefully you do as well.
Yeah.
All right. Skyline or Gold Star?
It doesn't matter. Both give me stomach aches.
Okay. LeBron or Jordan?
I'm old, so it's Jordan. Okay. But I do respect LeBron's longevity, and I will listen to the argument that he is the GOAT.
Okay. Being a Cincinnatian, did you stay on the Bengals bus for 31 years of no playoff wins?
Absolutely. I have never stepped one foot off that bus. I'm delusional, and I get just as gut sick over a loss like the other night in Denver, even though we're our backup QBs. And
right.
I always get geeked up for the games, and I'm disappointed.
You're a bigger man than I was off the bus for about 6 years, got back on the bus, and now the door's open and I'm about to jump off. All right, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Well, that one's always, sure, why not?
And as you're sitting here with a Reds shirt on and being a proud Cincinnatian, as the Reds are in the playoffs, should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
Ooh, yes, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame for his baseball feats. I personally don't think he was probably a great human being.
Right. Well, there's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that, if they were judged on their off the field activity, they shouldn't be in there.
Right.
What was your first concert?
My first concert, I need to vouch for myself first and say my wife and I have gone to a lot of concerts. We've seen a lot of great shows. We follow the Avett Brothers a bunch. We've been to over 50 of their shows. We've seen really great concerts and cool things, but my first concert was Michael Bolton with my dad. After my mom, they had season tickets to Riverbend, and my mom was not feeling well, so they needed someone to go, so I got to see Michael Bolton and his long, flowing, curly hair with my dad.
Right. That's your intro is better than the answer.
Yeah.
All right. You got to listen to this one. When you make cereal, do you put milk in the bowl first or the cereal first?
I always put the cereal in first, and then I add the milk. I love cereal. It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Okay.
Rice Chex.
Do you like crunchy cereal?
I like all aspects of it. Like, I don't like sweets here. I'm not a big sweets person, but I like putting a nice put the cereal in, then I put the milk in. I probably a little bit more milk than I need, so I can drink it afterwards. And I enjoy the experience from the first crunchy bits all the way to the soggy bits.
Okay. Because I like crunchy cereal, so I put my milk first, so all the cereal floats to the top and sits on top. And then I decide when the pieces get milked.
Okay.
And there's no one that is supporting me on this, so I'm trying to start a call.
They're all correct. You're wrong.
So on the same vein, do you put peanut butter on, when you're making a peanut butter and jelly, you're not a sweets guy, so maybe not, but do you put peanut butter on one piece of bread or both pieces of bread?
I typically put a spoon in the peanut butter and then put the spoon directly in my mouth.
Okay, good. And then being a well-rounded sports fan, if money was no object, what sporting event would you like to attend and why?
Oh, that's a great question. The Masters. I would go to the Masters and see that. That seems like the hardest ticket to get and the most hallowed experience to be at.
I agree. I went to the Memorial this year for 3 days, and I was at a work event for it, so it was just absolutely amazing. And just being that close to the best athletes in the world. I'm a football guy, right? It's the Super Bowl. I'm like, I just don't behold too much pomp and circumstance, and the whole, is it worth it? I have no desire to really go to a Super Bowl, but man, the Masters would be amazing. All right, awesome. Well, thank you. So, back to sports, or back to coaching. What's your most memorable match you've coached?
Oh wow!
Let me take out the word match. Maybe it's going back to your baseball, football coaching.
That's a good question. I will say that I haven't had, because I'm just back in the game
for
coaching.
Golf. Right.
I really haven't had anything that has been the most memorable. There's been lots of individual experiences that have come up, and this year's team has had a lot of success. What we did at the ECC preview was pretty special, having a couple people under par, and then just going toe-to-toe with Anderson was pretty great. I'd say that's pretty memorable from this year. I go back in my Here's a memorable one. Coaching Little Miami basketball with not a great group of basketball players. We were 0 in whatever we were going into our tournament, and we won a tournament game, and you would have thought we would have won the national championship. Right. Yeah, and it's things like that that just stick with you. Yeah.
Nice. In your playing or coaching career, if you could have a play to do over, what would it be?
My favorite sport growing up was baseball, and I was a very average high school baseball player. I got to play with some great baseball players who went on to play Division I college athletics and baseball, and we did pretty well as a group of seniors. I think all of us, we were actually just reflecting on it, how stereotypical in our 30th reunion, reflecting on our baseball tournament run, and we lost to Roger Bacon. And I really think that I just would collectively want that game over. I don't think I did anything where I was just like, oh man, if I could just have that back. But I would love that game again. I would love to play it again and see what happens, because we had a lot of talent on our team and a lot of good people.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to seen that group be able to move on.
Yeah. Good answer. Good. Do you have a favorite sports movie?
Oh, man. I love movies. I love sports. So I love sports movies. Probably Bull Durham is being
a baseball guy.
Yeah, is the best. It's hard to find a bad sports movie.
Yeah.
Because they all follow cliche
right.
stuff. But I like Bull Durham, and the fact that it's a little dated, feels a little past its prime.
Right.
But I like it.
Shows how good it is.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you wish Loveland had from a golf coach point of view? Is there anything that?
Making money in the golf world, I think, is as tough as it's ever been for courses. The courses around here, shout out to Hickory Woods for working with us.
That's our home course, right?
That's technically our home course, but I also have to give big shout out to Marianne and O'Bannon. We were able to get multiple matches at O'Bannon this year for the first time in a long time, which is just a blessing to have those options, especially with a lot of our kids being members there. I think it was pretty cool to get a match where they play so much of their golf.
Right.
But if one thing Loveland had would be some sort of practice facility, outdoor practice facility that was closer. Because when we practice, we have to drive to Fairfield or drive to Tri-County. And when you get on a bus and you sit in 275 traffic, that makes it less fun for everybody.
Right.
So if we had something in our backyard, that would be pretty great.
Yeah. So have you ever played or coached at Camargo?
No and no.
So I had a treat earlier this summer through somebody that through one of my wife's coworkers. Her husband works the grounds crew at Camargo.
Okay.
And he every now and gets to play on Mondays. And so I got to go play Camargo with him and a couple other guys on Monday afternoon. And high school kids were there. That's their home course for Summit and for Indian Hill. And it's one of the nicest courses in the United States. It's the second nicest course in Ohio. I'm getting this treat of a lifetime to play this course, which I literally thought I was in Florida or Phoenix or somewhere. And I'm sitting there looking at these high school kids. They don't realize how lucky they are. I mean, the Hick is a great course.
Yeah.
But it's the Hick, and that's our home course. And these kids are out there playing at Camargo, and I just couldn't believe it. It was crazy to watch that.
Yeah.
All right, so talking about this team a little bit this year, higher level, what's your coaching philosophy?
My coaching philosophy, why I actually wanted to be a varsity coach or get back into coaching, it's the same reason I teach. I love social studies and I love golf, but it's not why I do what I do. It is to help grow human beings and helping human beings grow emotionally and making good decisions and working through the tough processes that when we're teenagers that we struggle with. And so sometimes we need a sounding board with that. And so my philosophy is just to help these guys not just become better golfers, but in the process of putting themselves out there in some pretty challenging situations with eyeballs on them, letting them flourish and be better human beings. Like that's where it's at to me. That's what gets me excited about anything I do with education or coaching like that. It's just, how can I help this person be just one small percentage better than they were the day before? Or if they failed, let's talk about it so we learn from that mistake so we can be a little bit better the next time.
Well, especially in golf. I mean, it's unbelievable. These kids don't know what they're doing yet. They're going to look back and think about the pressure that they've had on themselves when they're playing a sport like golf. When mom and dad are in a cart or walking behind them, the coach is walking behind them, they see every single thing that goes on. It's not like football, basketball, baseball, soccer, where you're on this field 150 yards away from the fans and you can make a mistake, especially being a lineman dad, right? Charlie could mess up totally and people probably don't even know it was a mistake, but I think back to, I told you I got back into golf and I played in the member, and it was the first time ever in my life I played in a club tournament-like thing. And, I played college football, I'm in sales management, I can take the pressure, and I tripled the first hole. And I'm like, what is good? I'm like, relax.
Yeah.
There's just three other guys, my partner, relax. So I couldn't imagine what a high school kid's thinking when they're teeing off at the ECC championship, wherever it was, and have to take that pressure. So that's great philosophy.
Well, and there's nowhere to hide, right? There's nowhere to hide on a golf course. And team sports, which are great, and golf is a team sport because we take our top 4 scores when we're out there playing, but it's the top 4 individual scores out there.
Right.
And there's nowhere to hide. At the end of the day, your score is bared to the world, right? And there's like beauty in that because this is what I did today. But there's also strength in that because obviously the days we do well, we feel great about it. But on the days we don't do well, does that mean we're not a good person anymore?
Exactly.
No, of course not, right?
Exactly.
And that's why it's a pretty amazing sport. And it's also where you can analyze bad decisions on the football field or on the basketball court, but you can only do that after the fact. Golf is in slow motion. Like you can see the decision making going on, and all of a sudden you see how one bad decision begets another bad decision, and can we shortcut that?
During a match, how much are you allowed to talk to the player?
2 coaches are allowed to interact with the players.
At any time?
At any time.
Okay.
And this year they allowed it where the coaches are allowed on the greens as well.
And help read?
For that. Help read, talk through things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's the first year of that?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, but parents aren't allowed to give instruction or any random person.
Parents can't.
Yeah.
So, I don't want any names, but is there ever a time when you're conflicting with the player during the match on, I can clear the water, coach, and you're like, no, let's lay up?
Sure, but it is more, I just ask someone to talk me through their process is the thing that I typically say. What are you thinking here? And if it's something I disagree with, I will pose the alternate route.
Right.
Well, what do you think about this? And then I'll say, okay, tell me what the best and worst case scenario of your option is, best and worst case scenario of my option. So they just have, they can kind of risk,
that's great.
analyze each one. And then after that, I need you to just commit to the one that you want, because you can't go into a golf shot with half your brain thinking this is a bad idea, or even 10% of your brain thinking this is a bad idea. Let's fully commit to it. Know the great that could come from it, know the bad that could come from it, but let's fully commit to making this shot happen.
Well, I'm in sales leadership, right? And so if I can make the idea my rep's idea, I win.
Right, yeah, right.
It's like, that's the only answer, but if I make it their answer, just like you, it's a win-win.
You can't hit the shot because coach said hit the shot. You gotta hit the shot because you want that shot.
Makes sense. So I know the 25 season is coming to an end, and that's my Chris and I's both apology. We've tried to have this meeting multiple times, but when you started off the season, did you have any team goals for the year?
Our team goals is to be right where we're at actually right now. We made districts. We came in 3rd in our sectionals, and districts are on Monday, and if we're in the top 3 in that, we're going to move on to the state tournament. which is an opportunity for these guys. It's not a super long shot where it would be a complete upset if Loveland made the state. Now, it's not going to be easy, and these boys need to play well, but they definitely have that opportunity in front of them on Monday.
And then remind us all, how does it work with a team aspect versus the individual aspect of how a kid can move on to state?
Yeah, so we're focused on moving on as a team,
Right.
But the top 3 teams from the district move on, and they also keep individual scores as well, and then the top 3 individuals from non-qualifying teams will move on.
Okay.
So let's say, just for fun, Loveland, St. X, and Anderson move on, but yet a Moeller kid, sorry, that's my ride, a Moeller kid shoots low, that Moeller kid will move on with 2 other kids because they're non-qualifying kids. Yeah.
And then the same thing happens from sectionals on to state.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there is an individual state tournament.
You got it.
And,
Yeah.
okay, all right, cool, makes sense. Talk a little bit about the culture of the team this year.
Yeah.
Senior led.
Yeah, I was going to mention that with our goals. I would say where we started off, I had the boys meet me at Chipotle right before tryouts and bought them some lunch, and we just talked about the season, and I had some questions for them in terms of what did they want the season to be. What words do they think describe Loveland Golf and its culture? The number 1 word that came back was character, right, and integrity. Those were the conversations that happened with these guys, that they wanted to be a good group of golfers, but they wanted to have integrity and be respected amongst the people they play against, amongst their teammates. And so I would say that it is a team that is based around, what golf is. It's a character sport, it's an integrity sport, and that is the culture I believe in, as well as what's important to a team.
Again, making it their idea was the right call. And feeding them. You give boys Chipotle.
Right.
You got to be a cool coach for
I
that.
had some too, so it was
Right,
good.
exactly.
But you're I didn't prime them at all for that. Those were the words that we have 6 seniors, and I had them sit around and talk about that around that table, and those were the things that they talked about. And they talked about being inclusive and bringing in the freshmen into the program.
Nice.
And if we, golf's a hard thing to practice because we play so much, and then some teams are off playing while others are idle. Do those kids, but they were if we need to do a few events, a few practices where we bring everybody together and everybody's included in it. There's not just, this is just a varsity thing, or this is just the JV thing.
Right.
Because we already have enough of that naturally that happens with our schedule.
Right. Well, that's great. I mean, one move that the new football coach made at Loveland was bring in the freshmen and be part of the one program. And it's been great, watching it. I mean, there's times where I think back to when my boys were freshmen and they were off on their own field and they played at 9 o'clock Saturday mornings and they never really got a varsity time. And now the freshmen dress on varsity and they're including team meal. I think it's a great opportunity to, especially at a small school. If you're at a school with 100 and some kids on the team, it might be different. But when you're at a school that's a little smaller, including everybody, I think is very valuable. So that's been good to see.
Agreed.
And then back to your player-led meeting at Chipotle, I'm sure you were able to reflect it many times, or I'm sure many times throughout the season you could reflect back to that and say, hey, so-and-so, remember our conversation about character?
Yeah, you talk to these guys, and especially heading into big tournaments, it's often on the bus, and you just kind of remind them what they said they cared about, right? Hey, you guys said this was important to you, so how are you going to let your behavior show me what's important to you? Our words are one thing, but our behaviors are what the real deal is. So if this is important to you, how do you make decisions in warming up before a round? How do you make decisions on how you're taking care of your outside of golf life, like sleep and nutrition? How are you doing when things aren't going well for you in a round? How are you behaving? What can I actually see to say, oh, this is a team of character. This is a team of integrity based on this.
Right.
I saw this happen, and this is how this person reacted. Right? I saw that their playing partner was rude to them or gave them a hard time, but they rose above it rather than dwelling on it or going down to that level.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So postseason. So how do we do with the ECC?
ECC postseason, unfortunately, we came in second place. It was really a battle between us and Anderson. We beat Anderson in the preseason tournament. We lost to them head-to-head on their home course on the side of the vineyard that we had never played before.
Oh.
No excuses, but it's tough to play a course for the first time.
Yeah.
And then we lost by 2 strokes at Glenview at the postseason. So congrats to Anderson. Excellent group of golfers, but we came up just short.
My first part of my life when I played golf, we used to play the vineyard, and I love that long par 5. You tattoo your drive, you think you have a great shot, you find it. This is before we had cell phones and GPS and all that, and you'd find a sprinkler head that says, just hit it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 260, and you're like, this is only like 220 out. I can reach that. It says, just hit it. I think that's
never
great.
good when the grounds crew has
right.
fun at your expense.
Sense of humor,
Yeah.
right. So then the next round is
Districts at Pipestone
on
Monday,
when?
October 6th.
so next week.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then when will state be?
State would be the next Monday after that.
And that's up at Firestone, right?
Firestone.
So what a trip. So I guess it's so early because of weather. Is that why they've moved golf so much sooner than all the other fall sports?
Yeah, tennis kind of has the same deal because they weather as well. Like
right.
once it gets so late, like you're kind of playing fast and loose.
But how long before school did you start matches? 2 weeks?
Well, we start school so early now.
Oh, that's true.
We had tryouts the last week of July, and then we started that Saturday, like August 1st, I think
And
it
then
was.
August 13th, I think, was the first day of school.
Yeah. And we play.
So you're getting a full season in. It's
Absolutely.
just moved a little bit, which is fair because, like you said, last year the state championship was impacted by weather, and especially if we're going all the way up to Akron,
Right.
you know, it's going to be worse than it is here.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that makes sense. Well, you mentioned Ashley earlier. Is there anyone else that makes this coaching staff a success?
Absolutely. Ashley has been great, like I mentioned, a great asset, especially swing coach-wise. She's really able to diagnose things quick. And then because she has that expertise, there's immediate trust with the kids, right? Like this is a certified PGA teaching pro.
Yeah.
And when that person speaks, they carry weight with them, right? So that's been a great asset to all of our kids, but she's worked a lot with our varsity program, which is awesome.
And it's not dad.
And it's not dad, right?
It's not
Yeah,
dad.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
this woman knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Got it.
Dave Kopecki is our JV coach.
Okay.
He's also Casey Kopecki's dad. Casey's been on varsity all year long, but Dave stepped up to be our JV coach, and he's been a great addition. He's got a great attitude with the kids. Always got a smile on his face.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Willing to kind of do whatever, be whatever, be wherever,
Right.
which has been super helpful. And I've really enjoyed getting to know him the last 4 months,
Yeah.
and what he brings to the community,
Absolutely.
not just the program.
He's volunteers for everything. I can tell you when Casey was little and playing baseball and Dave's out there cooking breakfast sandwiches on a Blackstone at 7 in the morning, you can ask Dave and Bree to do anything and they'll step up. And you've got a lot of parents on the golf team. I know a lot of your parents, and you've got a great group of parents there to go with the kids.
Yeah, Dave's my connections guy. He's got a connection in every bit of the golf world, every bit of downtown Loveland world. It's great. But you mentioned our parent group. I have 3 amazing parent liaisons: Julie Ryan, Christine Rand, and Lori Walzer have been integral to making this season a success for me, but really for the kids. They've really rolled out the red carpet often for the kids.
Good.
And they're just the spearhead of a great parent group. Like everybody I've met has been just great.
Yeah, I think we do it right in Loveland with having the liaisons, and it works well because then that articulates into the monthly meetings, that articulates into boosters, and when we're strapped a little bit for cash, how we figure out ways to fundraise, things like that. And speaking of, Cappy's does a great job here in Loveland to supporting everything. that anyone asks Ben to do anything and they'll support it. I think every sport has a fundraiser day here where they donate money back to the program, and it's a couple bucks, but it all adds up, which is great.
It was super valuable. Cappy's was awesome for us both years. The weather was really poor last year, so that kept some of that money away a little bit, but this year was great, and we made it was a very helpful fundraiser right here.
Awesome. Well, more importantly, it's been great getting to know you better. Is there anything else you want to close up with?
No, I think this has been a fun conversation. I appreciate you doing this and spreading the goodwill of our community, because I just was having a discussion with Mrs. Corbin, our assistant principal, about, this is a great place and we are truly lucky to do what we do.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I've had a lot of feedback from this, from just getting, like you said, junior high and freshman parents to understand more about their coaches and what they're going to get into in the next 2 or 3 or 4 years. So it's been going over well. But thanks so much, Chris, for stepping up to be a coach for the boys. Seems like you're having a ton of fun. Thanks for everything you do as a teacher and a steward of Loveland. And most importantly, best of luck this Monday competing and the rest of the way to go into sectionals and then going on to state.
That's right. We will take it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, go Tigers. Thank you.
Go Tigers.
This episode was sponsored by Cappy's Wine and Spirits in downtown Loveland. Tap room, bottle shop, meeting place, great music, gift ideas, and just a traditional watering hole. Many events coming on throughout the fall, so please join Cappy's and celebrate a great season and a great opportunity to raise some money for all kinds of charities. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Coach Burke. Thanks for all you do, Chris, for all of our students and our golfers. Peace.